What's up, pet pals? Welcome to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life show. On this show, we are going to welcome two amazing individuals whose mission is to keep our pets safe and happy when we need to work, when we finally get a chance to go on a vacation, and other reasons. Your pets, come on, tell me, they are your most priceless assets, correct? So why not show your love by having them cared for by true trained professionals? Please welcome to our show from the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters, Amy Sparrow and Cathe Delaney. Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, Amy is the new president of NAPPS, and I'm sort of laughing because it's NAPPS. There is no sleeping in this organization. They are active and always on the go.
Right.
She is also the owner of a very successful pet sitting business in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, called Fur Kid Sitters. Cathe, she's the longtime administrator at NAPPS, who ensures the country's largest all-volunteer professional pet sitting group has access to the latest in pet care and make sure your pets are cared for. Wow, that was a lot I spit out, didn't I?
It's true.
And these guys are going to tell us about something pretty cool. Take a back seat, COVID, because finally, the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters are going to have their conference in person, and it will be in New Orleans, March 3rd to 5th. We'll talk about that, but I love the theme. What's the theme for the conference, Cathe?
Refresh, revive, and rethink.
We just want to go into a nice spa, doesn't it? And come out smarter and feeling and looking better. But talk to us about it. How many years have we been having to do virtual conferences?
Go ahead, Amy. Do you want to take that?
No, you take this.
All right. Well, we're really looking forward to the March conference. This is the first time getting together in person since 2018. So we're really excited about that.
Right. And we all look younger and thinner, right?
Absolutely.
Of course. Well, I mean, I want to ask you this, Cathe, and then I'm going to go to Amy. How would you, if you're sitting there hanging out with some friends, how would you explain like three benefits, three reasons why somebody should consider having their pets cared for by a member of NAPPS?
Gosh, that's a really good question. And NAPPS really tries to promote hiring a professional pet sitter, someone who is part of an association, someone who has insurance, for the pet parent, not taking the pet out of their home, letting it stay in its environment. I mean, hire a pro. That's the biggest takeaway, I think, for a pet parent. They want to go to the Find a Pro locator page of our website, and they want to hire a professional.
Pro? Okay.
Yes, it's the Locate a Professional Pet Sitter section of our website. Yes.
And give us that website.
www.petsitters.org.
All right. And how long have you been with NAPPS, Cathe?
Gosh, I've been with NAPPS since 2004, August of 2004.
Okay, you're getting close to your 20th anniversary.
Yes.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that coming as the newly elected president is our other guest, Amy Sparrow. You're in Baton Rouge, where the weather is always perfect, right, Amy?
Yeah, right. We love our hurricanes here.
So tell us a little bit about your company. Your company is called Fur Kid Sitters. Is that correct?
For kids sitting in services.
Okay.
Yeah, so we basically take care of, we're typical pet sitting. We go to clients' homes, take care of dogs, cats. We have everything, the exotic pets, horses, go to, what clients need. We have done hermit crabs, fish tanks, everything. So
Wow.
I joke because in our certification course that we have a section dedicated to hermit crabs, and we take care of hermit crabs. So yes, we do the gamut. So
So I'm now curious as a cat about a hermit crab. What is one care tip you have to remember when you're caring for a client's hermit crab?
they don't eat every day. They eat
Oh,
like maybe twice a week, and you have to make sure you talk with the client about, hey, when did you feed them? And make sure that you don't overfeed them. And
that's
that's the biggest
interesting.
thing.
I
I have
wish I
learned
had
that.
that problem. I wish I could channel my inner hermit crab. That would be
Yeah.
really nice. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
And speaking of certifications, this is one thing that I am impressed with the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters. From now on, all you listeners and those on YouTube, I'm just going to call them NAPPS because that takes me two breaths to say it. But you all are always continuing to up your education game. Cathe, there's like a slew of courses and programs, right, that members of NAPPS can take to become certified in certain areas?
Absolutely. We do have our main NAPPS certification course.
Okay.
However, we do have various certificate courses, which range from the aging cat course, canine behavior, employees and independent contractors, a complete horse care course, canine body language. We offer a chicken course, common sense wellness. So yes, there's a variety of courses that you can also use towards your CEUs, your continuing education.
Wow. So I think Amy has done many of them. Is that right?
I've done the big certification course, which is the one we get a discount on our with your insurance. Like with I have big business insurance in Carolinas, and it's a nice discount on insurance. It's a very involved certification. I can't remember how many questions. It's an extremely involved. It involves first aid. It involves, like I said, anything from hermit crabs to parrots to dogs to cats. Behavioral, the the toys, just everything is involved in that. So it runs from chickens to hermit crabs to exotics to everything. So I took the big exam,
Yeah.
and I have not done the specific certificate courses yet.
Yeah. But that you took the big one first. That's all right. And
It's
this is what I
it's
want to stress
extensive.
to people. Yeah. As you're hearing from our guests, Cathe and Amy, they're always students and they're always professionals. So they're always learning new things. And personally, I do use a professional pet sitter. Shout out to Joette's team at Park City Pet Sitters. She's a NAPPS member in Dallas. Because if I'm going somewhere, I want to make sure they're okay. My pets are okay. And I just don't think you can put a price on that. Do you, Amy?
No, and you want somebody who's knowledgeable and can worry about your pets as much as you worry about them. We think
That's a good one.
ahead, we think ahead about all the things that could happen. Because these are things that we discuss. We have monthly webinars to, give us, they're kind of like continuing education ourselves. We learn about
Mhm.
these things from professionals, variety of things. Like we had last year, we had a doctor who does exotics, and he came in and he just discussed things that we normally don't have if we don't have daily hands-on, or if we are not a vet
Right.
tech, which we're not, but things that bring up um, specifics in depth. Great vets that come out and talk to us online. So, these
Okay.
are
Yep.
continues.
Yeah. Hey, we got to take a quick break, but we are talking with Amy Sparrow and Cathe Delaney from the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters. And we're going to find out more after we take this break. So you guys know the drill. Just sit, stay. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. Guess what? I'm your host, Arden Moore. I got a couple of friends here in the house. We're talking about Cathe Delaney and Amy Sparrow from the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters. For you all lucky to be on YouTube, and for the rest of you, easy. Just go Arden Moore YouTube, subscribe for free. I got hundreds of videos and all these shows too. That is my dog, Kona, pet safety dog Kona, sleeping through this episode. Thanks, Kona. But let's jump. Oh, she woke up. So let's just jump in. I'm just curious. Amy, you had quite a varied background before you decided to become a professional pet sitter and open your business in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm going to go for 200, please. Volunteer firefighter.
Yes,
Wow.
I lived in a rural area, and when you live in rural areas, we don't have professional firefighting in those areas. One day I was um, just doing my own thing, and turns out there was a brush fire coming to my house, and there was really nobody out there to stop this brush fire. Some rural people showed up, firefighters showed up. They're like, "You need to help us." Started patting down this fire, and they're like, "We need volunteers." So that's how I started being a volunteer
Wow.
firefighter. And
Please
from
tell me your
there,
house was saved.
it wasn't my house, it was a neighbor's
Oh,
house, and yes, it was saved. Yes, it was
okay.
saved. But brush fires show up. I
Yeah.
lived out in the middle of a sugarcane field, and those things happened. So that
Wow.
is literally how I started becoming a volunteer firefighter that day.
What was I know hurricanes are big. You've been through
Yes.
Katrina and
Ugh,
and and the next generation, the next generation.
yes.
What's some tips you can give people because they can come and they're not very nice.
Yeah, so thankfully with hurricanes, you have a little time to prepare. Um, some of the great things we have out there, actually, if you go to FEMA, which is the FEMA
Mhm.
site, which is ready.gov, there is
Ready.gov. Okay.
ready, ready.gov. There is actually a really good section for things to prepare for, and I'm pretty sure they even have, for pets, things to think about, a checklist, things like
Mhm.
that. And that is one of the things that I do to remind my clients, hey, I send them out a sheet of paper or that kind of thing, because you remember you need to get
Like a checklist or
a
something.
checklist. You want to make sure you have your dog food, your cat food. Even if you don't have to evacuate, you should always have enough on hand to begin with because you never know when an emergency is going to happen. But you don't want to be having to run out to the grocery store seeing if there's any left. You want to have that on hand, make sure you have any medication, things like that. But just kind of think ahead to those kind of things. But ready.gov is a great resource for those kind of things.
Well, I also think that NAPPS is also a great resource
Mhm.
because you have, Cathe, professional pet sitters coast to coast, Hawaii, Puerto Rico. Am I getting everybody right?
Yes.
So give us kind of a lay of the land of about, are they in every state? Is NAPPS represented?
Yeah,
Ki-
I would say so. We do have members across the United States. We also opened membership internationally last year, so we're starting to welcome some
Oh,
international members. I just wanted to kind of quickly go back to what Amy was saying in regards to disaster preparedness and being prepared. I mean, that takes us right back to hiring a pro, right? I mean,
yes.
you just have to hire a professional. I have a 16-year-old son. He can certainly walk dogs, of course,
And he
but
can throw a
that's
football too, right?
exactly, yeah, but you need to hire the pro. So there, God forbid something does happen to your home, to your pet, that individual is prepared.
Mhm.
And talk about that because you guys are trained to know how to turn off the water and do some other things that if uh-oh is happening and your client is gone, I mean, what does NAPS professionals be able to do?
Well, I'll say this for my business. Most of us have the pet sitting software, and those things are encoded in our pet sitting software. For me, my business, I ask for clients to put in where's your electric cut off, where's your water cut off,
Good.
things like that. Because when I show up to a house, if I'm a pet sitter, I am not a plumber. If I show up and you got water leaking, I want to cut that water off, and then I get with their my clients' emergency contacts, things like that. and we go from there. But to stop the damage from going any further, yeah,
Yes.
I want to mitigate that as much as I possibly could. With the hurricanes, things like that, one of the biggest things for pet sitters, communication. We communicate
Yes.
with our clients. That's our biggest thing. You want to, first of all, let your clients know their pets are fine. This is what we're doing for your pets. Um, we communicate, for me, I communicate even before the storm happens. This is what we're doing. You know, we talk to your neighbors, let your neighbors know, hey, if we can't get to them, you know, let us know what kind of damage is in your area. If you're, we have clients with cameras. Keep an eye on your cameras. Let me know how your house looks. Let me know if you have power,
I
that
like
kind of
this. I
thing.
like this.
Yeah, communication is key with us.
Well, and
Communication is
Cathe,
key.
on a broader span, coast to coast, Mother Nature can have an attitude in many ways, from a fire to a tornado to a hurricane to a flood. I mean, so it seems like it's not only knowing how to care for a person's pets, but you all are like first responders in some aspects, right?
Absolutely. We do have a disaster preparedness plan in the members only section of
Good.
the NAPPS website. It is part of our members' benefits. And there's also a guide there for not just the pet parent, but also for the sitter. We have wallet ID cards. So lots of information that is included with membership in that members only section.
What is the wallet ID? What does that mean?
A little card that is one to hold on to for the pet sitter, another one for the client, the pet parent. Just has emergency contact information, veterinary information, that sort of thing.
I like that. So with apologies to your 16-year-old son, Cathe, who you adore, we're going to talk about how we get the message across that you're investing in the safety and sanity of your pets by getting a professional pet sitter when we take this quick break. So everybody sit and stay. We'll be right back. Hey, we're back. Welcome to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Okay, here we go. This is a fun topic. We have as our special guests Cathe Delaney and Amy Sparrow from the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters. Key word there, professional. So I'm going to have you each, in your own diplomatic way, explain why it is so much better. Give me one or two tips to hire a professionally trained pet sitter versus the kid down the street or your aging grandma who doesn't know where she put her car keys. Let's start with you first, Cathe. One or two.
Okay, so benefit for the pets, staying in
Yes.
their home, staying in his or her safe, secure environment, maintaining medical treatment when
Good.
required, and having someone responsible in case of an emergency.
All right, she gave us three. All right, Amy, your turn. That's all right.
On the pet sitting side of it, our job is there to take care of your pets specifically. We are scheduled, we are dedicated just to do that. We are not going to find, oh, I'm going to do something different. I got something other plans to do. Like I said, our specific thing is to take care of your pet. One of my biggest loves is when we show up and your animal is so happy to see us and loves that we're there. It's because they know that we're there specifically for them.
So
And
I take it that many professional pet sitters from NAPPS, they're probably the favorite uncle or favorite aunt, would you say, for these pets?
definitely, definitely. I can't tell you how many times I've just shown up at clients' homes just when they're there, just because I want to see my babies, So, and that's happened. So, yeah, definitely.
And they're a
Well, give me an
resource.
example. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right, I'm
Cathe. I
sorry.
just want to
And
give
they're
an example.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that there's a resource. They're a resource, right? The sitter becomes part of, the family in some extent,
Yeah.
to where they know what's going on with the pet. If they see something that's off, or the pet is acting differently, 8 out of 10 times, it's the pet sitter who's spending time with that pet, so much time that they're the ones bringing it to the client, saying, Rusty doesn't, isn't being himself today, those sort of things.
Especially with
That's
cats, because they like to hide any sign of pain. So
Yeah.
I think you're having another set of eyes that is a
absolutely,
trained set of eyes, right, Cathe?
I,
absolutely right.
I've
Go
had
ahead.
a sitter, one of my sitters actually pointed out to my client about a wound, a sore on one of their dog's legs.
Okay.
That wound actually turned out to be cancer. My
Yeah.
client is an oncologist.
Oh my
So
God.
my client was so appreciative that, that came out. And it just tells you, not only that, one of the things is when we have Louisiana State University's vet school here. So
Oh,
that's
that's
a big
nice.
part of our, that's a huge resource for us. And they have a big emergency room, that kind of thing. When my clients a lot of times will call me and say, hey, we're here at LSU. We had to bring so and so to the thing. The pet sitter goes to the hospital and because they're one of our babies. I can't tell you how many
Oh,
times I
nice.
have
I love
been
that.
in the emergency room with one of my babies with my clients because I also know how they are. So yeah, a lot of times that's happened. So
Wow,
they're
that's
our
really
babies.
stepping it up. I like that
Yeah.
because you have an informed set of eyes to be able
Mhm.
to be like a pet detective and give more information to the medical team, which may help better, quicker treatment, right?
Right. Right.
Wow. What do you think of that? What she said, Cathe? It sounds like that's just what many NAPS people do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, exactly that. I mean, nap sitters have made an investment in their clients and their business by becoming, a part of our association, and that just, we provide the tools and the resources that help them, and we're really proud of that.
And what I like share about this because there's a lot of people here listening, tuning in who are pet parents. Shout out everybody. And they're like, well, I'm not a professional pet sitter, but is there anything I can do to get involved with NAPS, Cathe?
Absolutely. We do have a pet parent membership,
Oh, cool.
which we're really, really happy about. I would encourage people to go to the pet parent section of our website. There you will find information about the benefits of using a professional pet sitter, tips on hiring a professional pet sitter,
Good.
getting the most out of your pet sitter, and also information on becoming a pet parent member.
And give that website again.
www.petsitters.org.
Yeah, because we're in it together, right? We're in it
Absolutely.
together. So I understand that pet sitters come from a wide background. No, I have yet to meet somebody that is 18 years old and says, I am going to be a professional pet sitter for the rest of my life. We're going to ask Amy. Amy, what are some of the things you did before you found your calling, being the owner of your professional pet sitting company? What? Come on,
Uh,
share.
so I have a degree in health information management, which is
Okay.
old school medical records, um, business management, worked in health information or insurance in legal
Hmm.
departments. So that's my background. And then in the corporate world, you kind of get maxed out and went from
Yeah.
there and became a pet sitter, just was done. And so I used to volunteer well, I still do, in cat rescue.
Yeah.
And, I think pretty much it's like with most of us pet sitters, we always took care of pets and, on the side or, always took care of other people's pets as a pet sitter. The hardest thing was when I became a professional pet sitter. I had to start charging my friends and
Yeah.
start, charging people for it.
But
And
you
you'll
got to get paid what you're worth. If
exactly.
for you YouTubers, Casey, Pet Safety Cat, Casey's on the air. He has a question for you, Amy. I'm very glad to hear that you helped and volunteer at a cat place. Can you tell us what is it about cats that you really enjoy that makes you such a long time volunteer?
Um, they are they do what they want to do. Let's just say that much. You can't tell a cat to sit. You can't tell a cat to stay. They have their own mind.
Yes, but you love them. There's something
Oh,
beckoning you back to them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Sorry about the
unfortunately my dogs are quote allergic to cats, so I
Oh,
don't have a cat right now, but cats are my favorite.
all right. What do you think about the fact that, Cathe, we do cats, dogs, hermit crabs, everything at you do at Naps, but there are more and more pet sitters that are sometimes thinking, I just want to be exclusively caring for cats. That seems to be a trend.
Absolutely. Caring for cats, caring for dogs, just specific to a certain animal is something that we're seeing a lot more of, which is perfectly fine. I mean, that's if there's a need for it in your area, then, go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. All right. We've got like one segment left, and we're going to dive into what's going on with this big conference finally in person. Yes, I want you to drop names because you got a real kicktail keynote speaker coming. And we're going to find out a little bit more about Cathe and Amy. So I want everybody to just sit, stay, or sit per. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're speaking with two of the standouts in the field of professional pet sitting. We have Amy Sparrow, the president of the National Association of Professional Pet Sitters, and Cathe Delaney, who's nearing her 20th year as running the show as the administrator at NAPPS. So there's dedication there. How long have you had your own pet sitting business now, Amy?
Almost 10 years, well, 10 years this year.
Okay, congratulations. And what is something you do now that you wouldn't have thought you would be doing when you first started the business?
Having people work with me. I thought it was just going to be me,
Oh, you thought it was
honestly.
just going to be solo, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yep,
then
thought
you
it was just going to be
elevated to
me.
become president of the association. What
Yeah.
motivated? Because you worked your way up.
Honestly, the day I decided to become a pet sitter, I started researching how to, what pet sitting is, and I came across NAPPS. And I joined NAPPS because it was member run. It was all pet sitters, and pet
Yep,
sitters were the ones who decided everything. So I
I like
joined
that.
NAPPS, and I looked into all the tools that it had for, or now we have for pet sitters. And that's how I basically learned a lot. Other pet sitters were on it, and I asked a ton of questions. I learned from fellow pet sitters, and now I kind of do the same for other pet sitters, people who are joining to become pet sitters, because, like we said, people don't grow up saying, I'm going to be a pet sitter for a
Right.
living. So I do now the same thing for other people. And I
Well,
love it.
I think you said this is a we, not a me
Yep,
organization.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you worked your way up, Cathe. You've seen her come in as a newbie, and now she's your president. What's impressed you most about Amy?
Oh gosh. Amy shoots from the hip.
And
Amy,
accurately.
yep. Amy is in the role that she's in now because she cares for the industry and she cares for our members. Um, and it's all done out of the respect for the industry, the respect for the membership, and what this association is about. It's about providing those tools and those resources to our members, and she's the leader in helping us do all of that. So we're really
I
excited to
like
have her as president.
And Amy, what's your thoughts about Cathe?
Without her 20 years experience, I wouldn't be able to do that because I constantly call her asking her questions about things.
Yeah,
Let's just say that
she's a
much.
walking encyclopedia.
She is. Like I said, I've only been doing it for 10 years now. When I tell you, the first thing I did before I even opened up my business is I joined NAPPS. And so I have 10 years experience with NAPPS and that. So
That's good. I like that.
yeah, yeah. And so that's what I do. I ask her the questions because she'll know whether or not, oh yeah, we have that in our magazine, or we have tool a toolkit for that kind of thing. So,
Yeah,
like I just said,
she's the
oh,
answer gal.
right. We were just talking about the toolkit. I was talking about what I use with FEMA.gov. She says, "Hey, we already have a disaster thing for our pet parents." I forgot about that.
There you go.
And she knows we have it. So there you go. Right there, example.
So I'm just curious, Cathe, what did you do before NAPPS?
I worked in the hospitality industry for many years prior to working with NAPPS. My schedule and my priorities changed when I had my first son, Richie, who turned 20 earlier this month. So I needed to step away from that industry, which I loved and still love. But I needed something a little bit more 9 to 5. I was a mom, and I needed a little bit more time with my family at the time.
And now you're a mom times two, right?
Times two. Yeah, Richie and Andrew.
Good, good. Because Andrew was like, please say my name on the show. We have,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Andrew's my 16-year-old. Richie's 20. Yeah.
All right. There's a big conference coming up. This is going to air before then. And your theme is refresh, rethink, revive. Tell us, drum roll, please, Cathe, who did you land as the keynote speaker?
Gosh, we are thrilled to say that Dr. Marty Becker is our keynote speaker. And we're just so grateful. He will be kicking us off to a very full weekend. He will start us off on Friday, March 3rd at 5:30 p.m.
And a little bit about background, guys. I've known Dr. Marty Becker for over 20 years. We will do pun-offs at the conference. I'm going to tell you right now. But he is a genius. He has written or co-written a number of best-selling books. He is also one of the forces behind the movement Fear-Free Pets, which is all about reducing fear, anxiety, stress in our pets. And I think he's a goofball who also has, I think his heart beats pets. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And his entire family, his entire team. I mean, we have a great relationship with Mikkel as well. She's actually on the NAPPS advisory board.
And that's his daughter. She's a renowned animal trainer, right?
Yes. So they are fans of NAPPS as we are of them, and Fear Free. So we're very excited to have him, Dr. Becker, as our speaker, our keynote speaker.
Amy, have you ever met Dr. Marty?
No, I have not, but I know, like I said, I know Mikkel, so it'll be a great experience to meet him.
So you've got a lineup of guest speakers, and they cover different topics. So you know, Cathe, you're trying to give the members what's the focus you're trying to do for the members with the speakers you have?
Well, there's not one focus, which makes it, really great, right? There's a wide variety. We have Fana Easter, who is actually Fear-Free certified. She is going to be talking about separation anxiety. We have Jennifer Anderson, which actually has spoken for us in the past. She is going to be talking about labor standards and that sort of thing. We've got
attorney, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all know Megan and Colin with Pet Sitter Confessional. They're going to be with us for
They've been on the show.
Yes, right. Yeah, absolutely.
You're waiting for the best. You're saving for last, right?
I am. Yeah, we've got before the best for last. You're right. I've got Jamie Migdal with Fetch Find, of course. Fetch Find. We are huge fans of Fetch Find. And then, of course, wrapping this all up in a nice little package with a bow, we'll end with Arden Moore, who will be doing a pet first aid for you, right?
Yeah, I'm going to teach people some ways to be a mutt-giver when you don't have a first aid kit and the vet is far away. So we're going to find some ways what we're wearing and around you to stabilize and be able to give on the scene care. So I just feel honored to do that. I also want to let people know I'm also the editor of the NAPPS magazine. It comes out digitally quarterly. So I get to learn a lot about what's happening in the pet field and professional pet sitters. And I've really enjoyed that. And I just, we just have about a minute left. And I told you guys, I always want to do this. This is sort of the Barbara Walters end of an interview part. Amy, what is something about you that may surprise people? A talent, an award, an accomplishment? What's something that people would not know that Amy Sparrow did this or was this?
Well, we already discussed my fire department stuff. Um, before I was with the fire department, though, so I always believe in volunteering. I'm
Good.
a big volunteer fan. Like I talked about being volunteer with Cathe. I'm not a monetary person. I don't have a lot of money, so I always give back time.
You're
Before
priceless.
that, when I lived in Florida, I was born in New York, lived in
Oh,
Florida. So
okay.
there you go. I'm a New Yorker. Shocking. Um,
Yep.
I lived in Florida, and I was with a ambulance company. So there you go. I was
Oh,
with the ambulance before I was with the fire department. So I do have a
well, you
history of
surprised me about
EMS.
New York too. What borough?
There
Where
you
were
go.
you? In
Long Island.
Long
Long
Island.
Island.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
That's where we
Long
get the
Island.
that's where we get the shoots from the hip. You know,
Yep.
that's
Yep. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. I love New
I'm a
Yorkers.
Jersey girl. I can say that. There you
All
go.
right.
Yeah.
So we now know that Cathe Delaney is a Jersey girl. What's something else about you, Cathe?
I think something that would surprise people is I actually drove in President Clinton's motorcade.
What?
In 1998, I lived in South Carolina, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, for several years, and I was asked to ride in his motorcade. I actually have pictures. This is a picture of me and Bill back in the day, shaking his hand.
YouTubers, take a look. Yep.
Yeah, and I actually have Hillary here, you know, so yeah, I received a very nice letter on White House stationery thanking me. It was signed by Bill. Yeah. But
Hopefully
yeah.
that's not classified. You can share that.
Oh no, it's not classified. Yeah, it was very exciting.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that about you. Well, this is fun. Hey, everybody, please consider going to the NAPPS site. It's petsitters.org. You will be able to find a professional pet sitter who's trained, licensed, insured, bonded to take care of your pets. And they do have a section for you all as pet parents to get more involved and learn more things. I hope you both had a good time. You
Yeah, it was
survived.
great.
Mhm.
Yes,
It was a lot of
thank
fun.
you.
Thank you very much.
So that's it for our show today. Again, special pause up thanks to our guests, Cathe Delaney and Amy Sparrow from NAPPS. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. That's Tevra. They make great products for pets. That's TEVRA pet.com. Hey, go on the site and include Arden23 at checkout. Arden23, and you're going to get a special treat for your pets from the Tevra brands. I also want to thank all of you pet pals for tuning in and all you stations airing our show coast to coast. And do me a big favor, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Art and More. And it's free, and you'll be able to see all the different videos we have. And I really enjoy doing this. And until next time, this is Art and More. I'm just saying to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there, pause up.